quite a nice little rig. What we got over here? We got a
compressor, the Aphex. There we go. These mics just came today in the mail, though.
Dude, they
Both
sound,
of them. Yeah, the Procaster, and this is an MXL 770. And all right, man, we're here with Frank Viele, as we learned tonight, Italian and South.
Italian and Southern, yeah, a little bit of everything, yeah.
Two nationalities, the South and Italy.
It makes for really good music and lots of food.
Frank came all the way down from Connecticut, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Just to play one of, I guess, your favorite places.
I love it here.
Yeah.
I love it. You know, it's kind of funny. I remember when I first started out, and I was trying to get gigs, and you run into that thing where I had all these kind of like entry-level management kind of people that wanted to be superstars in the management and whatever, but it always came first, or we always wondered what came first, the chicken or the egg. You'd call a club and you say, I want to play there, and they would say, how many people can you draw? And you would say, I don't know, I've never played there before.
Right.
What comes first? How do you go back and forth? And it was a different game when I first started like that, and it became a challenge, and that's where a lot of bands struggle. I'm a very tenacious guy, and I would just show up with a guitar and play whatever I had to. But as I started to get out there more and more, you run into select clubs that are run by people who are true music lovers.
Right.
True lovers of the craft. And they can tell, they support you along the way, because this is certainly a journey in many ways. And John and Sue didn't know me from Adam, but they saw my music and they really enjoyed it, and they had me out here once, and they've had me out here 3 more times since, and every time a couple more people come, and so for me it's just it feels good to know that I'm appreciated by those that really appreciate music. And so that's why it's kind of become my home. Every time I come, they got great records here. I bring a new record home, and I listen to it.
What did you get today?
I didn't get one yet, but I'm
okay.
looking for a Rod Stewart. Every picture tells a story. My record broke of that one, so I want that one. And I'm looking for I want some live Allman Brothers. That's what I'm feeling lately.
Okay.
I'm all over the place right now, but because of all the lead guitar work on my new album, I've been listening to all the Allman Brothers stuff, and I want that good soulful lead guitar.
Yeah. This one I'm holding here. This is the Monsters EP, which is your second, I guess.
Yep, it's actually my first real solo album as Frank Viele. What that is it's there's 3 full band cuts and 2 solo acoustic tracks on there. The 2 acoustic tracks are live, and then the 3 full band cuts are early versions of what's coming out on my new album in September. The new album's called Fall Your Way. Now it's limited edition. We pressed 1,000 of those Monsters EPs. I have less than 100 left at this point. We've only been selling them at shows, not really available online or anything like that, although we're streaming a couple tracks on my website now.
Who's playing with you tonight? And are any of those guys on this Monsters?
Absolutely. You saw Michael Gersh on the he's playing keys tonight, but usually when we tour in the bigger rooms, he brings a full B3 organ, Leslie the works, and he's doing all the organ cuts on that EP and on the whole record. Tom Baracco you saw on drums. He does a lot of the drum stuff as well as congas, so there isn't much of him on the EP, but on the full record he's all over it. Okay. Same with Max and Brendan on the guitar and bass. So that EP was recorded mostly acoustic, and I've had the pleasure to have a lot of like the best of the best in my region where I'm recording that record come in and put their spin on some stuff I'm doing. The guys from Kung Fu came in, Tim Palmieri and those worlds came in and played guitar. Bill Holloman, saxophone player for Chic, Springsteen's band, Elton John. He's doing all the horns on that, and it's been really cool. It's I had a band for a long time, the Manhattan Project, and it was great, and I love the guys, but this was an opportunity for me to really kind of compose every song from the ground up, and it's going to come out more on the album where, I have songs with string sections, I have songs with 4 female background singers, and all those types of things, and it's crazy. It's cool, but it's certainly, it's a journey, definitely.
So, well, what's coming up in terms of gigs, recording?
Well, we're playing the Fochella Festival with Kung Fu and the McLovins and all those great guys down on the first week of May in Connecticut. We got some great shows in this region in May. We're going to be on Friday night. I think it's Friday the 23rd down in New Hope, Pennsylvania at Triumph Brewery with the band. And then we finished the month of May with a Strange Creek Music Festival down in upstate Massachusetts with Ryan Montbleu, Kung Fu, Z3, Turquoise, Spiritual Res, all those great cats. So,
Turquoise, yeah. Did you? Was it you or Jason that just played with them?
That was me last night.
Last night, right? Yeah. I love those guys. Yeah, and speaking of New Hope, the Triumph Brewery there, that's another great place.
It's funny because it kind of works backwards. When you start playing music, you get put in the most awkward positions when you're playing. You're in the corner of the bar where no one's paying attention, and your feet's don't stick into the ground, and all that other kinds of stuff. And I'll tell you what, it's sad. The more I go out and tour, that I realize what a true story and how real the Blues Brothers movies are.
Yeah.
But but then as you kind of start to go out on the road and do things like I've been doing, you end up finding these kind of rooms. Triumph, this place, the great spot up will be May 31st. We'll be up in Hartford, Connecticut, over at the at Black Eyed Sally's, an old soul restaurant, blues club. So killer spot. Any spot where there's a painting of Jimi Hendrix behind the stage is a good spot to be playing.
Yeah, I would think so.
So yeah, it's cool.
And I think you mentioned something about your new recording.
Yep.
Some people playing on it.
Yeah, I'll announce it on here, I guess. And so I mentioned a lot of the guys that are on the Monsters EP that'll be on the album. But in addition, there's been one recent addition who'll be playing on one of the first singles off my new album. Mr. Joe Bonamassa will be playing lead guitar on my track "Broken Love Songs." So
yeah,
I'm still kind of trying to figure out how to wrap my head around that. But
yeah, that's nice.
It's quite an honor, and he did it justice. He came in, he worked really hard on it, and
how'd you hook that up?
It's once again when you've been out, another benefit of going out and knocking on every door and playing every stage you can is you kind of build a reputation. Recently, about a month and a half ago, I won an award for the best live act in all of New England, the New England Music Awards, which was really cool. And I think that over time you just start doing these types of things, and great musicians and are usually great people, and they understand the journey, and they appreciate those that kind of put their head down and go all forward. And I got the phone call one day that he was going to play on the track, and he asked if it was okay. I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, you could play tambourine on it, you play whatever you want on it. Nah, so it was really cool, and great. It's unreal. I'm trying to figure out what I want to send him to thank him. I think my mom's going to be making some kind of food. We're going to send it over to him. He's in upstate New York,
Yeah.
What do you send a guy that's got everything like that?
Right.
Yeah, mama's home cooking.
Yeah, there you go. That sounds about right.
So we're going to do that, and no, it's cool. This year I had a little time off in December, and or end of the year in December, and I save all my tour posters. Whenever I see them, I try and take them, and
right.
I got the chance to frame all my posters and put them in my bedroom, and it was crazy because I had posters of me with Ambrosia, Young Dubliners, the Wailers, Marshall Tucker Band, Blues Traveler this summer, all those phenomenal things, and and stuff like this. Joe Bonamassa. It's some days I scratch my head and I say, you know what? This is pretty darn cool.
Yeah,
there's no doubt about it. I'm a lucky man. I'm very happy.
Yeah, like tonight you made a journey out here to Record Collector, a pretty far journey.
It was much farther than it should have been with 5.5 hours traffic, but got the chill. It was funny. I like to be funny with these kind of things, I guess, comical, and so we were stuck in traffic. So I refused to put anything on the radio but traffic and Steve Winwood. So
there you go.
I'm about ready to bring you my higher love right now. Bring me a higher love. you know. So we got all that, and so I was singing that the whole way here. So by the time I got on stage, I was like, shoot, I probably should have saved some of my voice.
Yeah, right.
Nah, but it was a journey today, and but it's fun, you know. I mean, you know, I'll tell you what, till the day I die, I'll be telling a story about driving down the Roanoke, Virginia, and playing an old blues club down there. We didn't even have the band; it was just me and Max and Tom, and they were on acoustic guitars, and I was acoustic guitar, he was on a conga drum, and we walk into this club called the Coffee Pot, something like that. We walk in, there's a guy up front, and his name is Doug Flowers, and he's in charge of the artist relations, and he's got a cowboy hat wrapped around his head, and around that cowboy hat is a rattlesnake. And he says the cowboy hat cost him $204, but the rattlesnake wrapped around it, he caught that himself. And so, you know, we walk in, he goes, "Where y'all from?" I said, "We're coming in from Connecticut." He goes, "Y'all Yankees." I said, I guess he's like, "Did y'all play the blues?" I said, "A little bit." He goes, "Well, we'll see about that." After my second song, Doug Flowers bought a CD. So that to me was a victory in itself, you know. So
yeah.
And the night before, I had like a route gig, right? And it was at a place, it was at a pizza joint in Delaware. It's like, what the heck? It was called Extreme Pizza. I'm like, I'm really paying a pizza restaurant tonight. But it was on the route. They were going to pay me some money. It was going to get me to point A to point B, part of the journey. And I walked in, and apparently the area of Delaware it was in was right on the Jersey line, right by Philly. And you know what? A whole bunch of people came out. And it was an awesome show. Kids I went to college with, everything. And like, you never know what you're going to expect. It's, you know, it's amazing. You know, I take it back to, you know, an old friend of mine. I was on the road, always said to me, like, listen, he said, you got to play every gig. You know, if you play 10 gigs, 5 of them are going to be okay, 1's going to be amazing, and 4 are going to be absolutely terrible. And there is no way to tell which is going to be which until you play them all.
Yeah.
Because there's just so many factors out there. I remember I had a big show in Boston a couple years back, and supposed to be huge. I was opening up for this girl. She was doing a 3-week residency, and every week of the residency had already been like sold out, packed. I show up for week 3, and the place is empty. I'm like, what did I do? You didn't do anything. Celtics are in Game 7 of the playoffs.
Yeah, there you go. Right.
All right.
Certain things
there you go, you know.
With, yeah.
And you know, and that's another, you know, once again, stories. I
Some other people that are your peers that you respect, admire, like, or, you know, keep an eye on.
I love Jason. Always been a fan of his since I first saw him, but outside of that, you mentioned Turquoise, played with them last night, and Spiritual Res, just kicking bands.
Spiritual Res?
Kicking bands, unreal. Great bands comprised of great people. You know, that's the thing. The folks from Turquoise are just, they're so cool. They're really good people, and they're an unbelievably tight band. I love them. The guys from Kung Fu out of Connecticut, touring all over the country now. Unreal people. Treat me really well. Played on my record. Take good care of me. You know, and I love them. Phenomenal. Outside of that, I mean, I'm obsessed with music. I have all different types of. You know, I might. That's the only reason I like coming. I'm pretty sure that John and Stu are the only people that have more music than I do.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I've lost girlfriends over my record collection.
Sure.
And like, you know, I don't have room for my shoes. Well, go home then. The records ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
You gotta wait till I can afford a bigger house.
There it is.
But no, it's you know, I love. I'm a big singer-songwriter guy in general. I think a great singer-songwriter is one of the you know, the most important treasures on the road.
Do you remember one of the first albums you got that was like a singer-songwriter that really made an impact?
My goodness, you're gonna make me choose, ain't you? Well, I grew up on the old soul stuff. So if you consider somebody like Sam Cooke a singer-songwriter, then I mean, absolutely, Sam Cooke. Otis Blue was my first real big record that really kind of turned me into a wow artist where I won't be. And that being said, you know, modern stuff, I'm a big Ryan Moplu fan. I love Mika Pauly. That's another one of my favorites. The two people I grew up on are so it's hard to even put it in words, but James Taylor and Jim Croce were two of my favorites for the longest time, and they still are. you know, and you kind of, those are people I kind of always tend to go back to.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But you know.
Yeah, I love both those guys. Yeah, for sure.
Grandma also grew me up on Rod Stewart, so I love Rod Stewart.
So you gotta get that Rod. Yeah, you gotta replace that Rod.
In Rod we trust. There's no doubt about it. Oh man.
Well, you guys got to get something to eat and drink and all that. You had a pretty long journey, and
I got
starting to know the town a little bit.
My bandmates always tend to run around. I just tend to be baffled and start trying to find little pieces of gold within these records. Like I'm always looking for stuff. I picked up a live BB King record last time I was here. Time before that, I picked up a Sam Cooke record, and I what else did I pick up? Oh, it's gonna kill me. I'll figure it out. But yeah, no, I picked up a couple nice things here, and I picked up a couple of Beatle records last time too, and a Grant Green album. I picked up a great Grant Green record. One of my favorite guitar players. Love Grant Green. I mean, I'm one of my favorite bands when I was younger too. Was Soul Live. Eric Krasno. Soul Live is one of my favorite guitar players, and one of his. He's a contemporary of Grant Green. There's no doubt about it.
No, that's cool.
So I love to kind of follow it down the line. Like I find somebody modern that I like, and I start digging deep into where they kind of came from.
Yeah, that's usually how it works.
It's like the blank tapes, you know. And I used to kind of like compose stuff. It's like I love Ryan Montpleau, but when I hear Ryan Montpleau, I start to hear a little bit of Paul Simon, you know. And then what I try and do is once every couple of months, I won't listen to any music for like a week. I try to like cleanse myself. Majority of my older material and a lot of the material now starts literally with me an acoustic guitar. It obviously grows into many different types of things, organ parts, horns, all those types of things. But it usually starts with me an acoustic guitar. However, I have an old baby grand that was in my stepfather's restaurant when I was a kid. It's a 71 Wurlitzer baby grand where I live. And I find that I like when I'm trying to write and truly write, like a lyrical melodic writing of a song, I tend to go to the piano because I reach for chords differently on the piano, and I find that it kind of takes me out of my comfort zone just enough. I can play the piano, but not like I can play the guitar, and so it takes me out of my comfort zone enough to try it. So I like trying different instruments. I play ukulele as well, so I love to just you kind of go after different things, and it's more of like it's an exercise. And sometimes I pull a song out of it, and sometimes it's just a way for me to kind of, once again, cleanse that musical palate a little bit, you know, and kind of go from left field.
Nice. Well, yeah, we'll have to do it again sometime. I feel like maybe we should pack up now since they're probably going to want to get out here at some point. My band's probably yelling at me where the heck's right there. Want to eat. They already had their appetizers. There's no doubt about it. But yeah, next time, man, we'll sit down maybe with a guitar and something and play, record some acoustic stuff. No doubt. I actually recorded the whole gig tonight because John was like, "Hey man, can we record them?" And I said, "Yeah." At the last minute, we just threw up a couple of 58s. So I got the whole gig here off to, I'll MP3 it and Dropbox it. We'll figure it out somehow online to get it to you.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
If it's really long, I'll send you a CD or something. So, excellent, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for having me, man. Thank you. Thanks for coming out, so I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Right on.
Best of luck.
Thank you.